By the end of episode 2, we had a working speedometer and a power steering system that didn't leak fluid. Pretty perfect, right? Well, it was good enough for us to take it on its first road trip up to White Salmon, Washington. It got us there without any problems, and we even got around 20 miles per gallon on the trip. But in the months after the trip, there was still a lot to be desired out of this Jeep, so... For instance, when driving down the interstate, it took a lot of input from the steering wheel to get the car to go in a straight line. And that was because of this, the drag link. The ball joint in the drag link went bad, as you can see here with how much slop it has. This was either because it was old or maybe because it was a terrible design, but either way the new part was about $13. Right here is the new drag link, and the first step to replacing it is going to be loosening this nut on the adjuster. Then we removed the cotter pin, followed by removing the castle nut on top of the drag link. We had to get this nut on the adjuster loose enough so that we could spin out the old, worn-out drag link. Just make sure you remember that these have reverse threads, because I thought I was taking it out, but really I was putting it back in.
Oh god, it's backwards. It's backwards threaded.
Now we got it out. Then I threaded the new one in. I didn't take any measurements before I took the old one out, so the alignment's definitely going to be off. But the alignment of toe won't change from this, so the steering wheel might be off-center, but you'll be able to make it to the alignment shop just fine. I had a hard time pushing the drag link back up into the steering arm. It actually took the force of the jack to be able to push it into place.
I feel like that's not the right way to do it, but it's how I did it.
I don't know if this is a good idea or not, but it seemed to work for me just fine. And hopefully it goes without saying that using the jack when you already install this lube nut deal would definitely break that off, so...
Oh, it feels pretty good. I don't want to strip it out.
Then it was time to tighten everything back down, and this job is as good as done for now.
There we go.
Alright, this is the episode where we make the yuppie Jeep... Oh, Jesus. This is the episode where we make the Jeep beautiful and clean again. So, we're going to wash it, do the interior. Depending on how editing goes, we'll also be waxing it and buffing it and putting on the badges. So, when going for the aesthetic of a yuppie Jeep or mall crawler, it's very important that your paint looks as good as possible. So we started off by just simply washing it, which wasn't so simple because it was so dirty it needed to be washed twice to get everything actually off of it. Like I said, I ordered a full set of badges for this to replace the missing Cherokee and/or Laredo badges. Also the Jeep badge on the tailgate. The only badges that we didn't have were the 4x4 badges that go near the back, but that's okay. We know it's a 4-wheel drive, we don't need to tell the world about it. But honestly, I just couldn't find any for sale, so that was the real reason we didn't get those. And as a special treat for everybody watching this video, I know that sex sells, so let's just inject some really nice B-roll shots of washing the Jeep.
Oh baby.
Huh? I'm really not used to washing vehicles this tall or large, as I'm used to driving small 2-seater sports cars, so in order to clean the disgusting roof, I got up and stood on the cowl for the windshield. This way I was able to reach all the hard spots and really get in there and get the dirt out.
Dirty as fuck up here.
Don't forget, when you want to show off just how yuppie you are, you gotta make sure the wheels are as clean as possible. Elbow grease and super clean from AutoZone got the job done here. And before I use tire shine, I like to really scrub down the sidewall of the tire as well. That way you can pull out a lot of the dirt before the tire shine goes on it. And lastly, before spraying the tire shine on it, I got the air compressor out to make sure it was completely dry. That way there isn't any streaks in the tire shine. So the detail job is going
fantastic. It's taking 5 times longer than I was expecting it to, which is a bummer. I just remembered that I have been collecting Jeep wheels for years now. Dana was missing one of the little center cap things, so we went up to my Jeep wheel collection, pulled this bad boy off. We are going to fix the way this looks right now. Now all 4 have the little caps.
Perfect.
Now you got a city truck. City Jeep! City Jeep! Ain't that right, Ladybird? Ladybird! Ladybird! And then it was day 2 of the detailing. Next on the agenda was finally to put on the new badges. And before we can do that, we gotta get the old glue off of the paint, and then we're gonna cut it and buff it, and then add the badges. To get that weird glue stuff off of the paint, I use a very liberal amount of Goo Gone in a terracloth towel and just rub the crap out of it. And when that wasn't working, I used a razor blade or a plastic scraper.
Oh my god! Oh. Alright.
I'm glad we're redoing this. You know what we need to do? Fear. First, I want to start off by saying that I am not a very good detailer. I have not a lot of experience with cutting or buffing or polishing, but I was going to give it my best shot with this Jeep with some brand new stuff that I had just bought. To show you the before and after, we're going to cut and polish just the passenger side of the hood. The blue lets you know it's really cutting deep. Then after we finish the hood, we cut and buff the whole rest of the car. This is the before side, and this is the after side. It's still not perfect, it's no mirror, but it is a lot better than it was. Time to put on the Jeep badge on the front. Got it cut and swirl removed. We did not put the wax on yet. You can kind of still see where they used to be. It was not a particularly warm day when we were doing this, so to give the 3M double-sided badge adhesive stuff a really good chance of working, I used the heat gun to heat up both the badge and where it was going to be applied to. And then I pressed really hard, and with those techniques, those badges are not going anywhere. But before we show you the finished project of the detail job, I wanted to tell you about the Amazon roof rack thing that Dana bought. It was like $60 and we wanted to relocate the spare tire from inside to on top of that basket so that we could have more room inside for camping. Because I had been weirdly collecting Jeep wheels for so long, I remembered that I had a full-size spare. The spare that the Jeep came with looked really pathetic compared to a full-size one. And to secure the spare tire onto the rack, we wanted to use that same bolt mechanism that holds the spare tire in on the inside of the Jeep. But in order to get it to work, we had to bend it into a hook shape, so this is what we're doing right here. Welch! Now you have nice warm water. Not only was Isabella the cat very impressed with my skills, everything worked out great on the roof rack as well. It wasn't the prettiest thing, but it also didn't cost any money, so I was pretty happy with the result. And finally, here are some shots of it when it was all cleaned up. Knowing how it looked where we started and how good it looked where we ended up, I was just beside myself with excitement. It still had a few places here and there where it was missing paint, but overall it was a very honest, handsome Jeep. A little bit after this chapter, we took the Jeep on a road trip down to Mount Lassen in California. We camped 2 different nights at 2 different places and explored the national park for all I had to show, and the Jeep performed admirably. It didn't give us any problems. And we were extremely thankful for the working air conditioning. But soon after the trip to California, Dana decided that the Jeep Cherokee just wasn't right for her. So in order to get it ready to sell, I wanted to fix up a couple more things to try to get the most money out of it that we could. And one thing I really wanted to try to fix was the stupid starting procedure with that plunger button. So, the internet told me the main culprit to look into was the neutral safety switch. Look, it's the neutral safety switch. I'm fixing it. Do you want to know how to fix it? Watch a YouTube video about it. There's already like a bunch of them on how to do it, so I'm not doing it myself. Good luck. So yeah, I got the neutral safety switch out of there and cleaned up all the connections really well and gave them some dielectric grease. But when we put it all back together, it didn't fix the starting procedure. Turning the key still would not start the Jeep.
Are they on?
Oh yeah.
Are they?
Oh yeah.
Nope. Adjustment.
I adjusted it a bunch of times trying to get it to work, but the only thing we got out of the deal was getting the reverse lights to come back on. So with that little bit of a failure, I decided that changing all the speakers in the Jeep was going to help it sell better. And then I was able to use this GoPro mount to pull this dent out of the passenger door. It fixed!
Wow.
Wow! All of the fake leather and vinyl inside of the Jeep was stained with like dead skin and grease and just years of the livelihood of a blue-collar worker.
Trying to get my gut in it. I was trying to say, I will try to not get my gut in it. I was not commanding you to not get my gut in it.
So I got the super clean back out and scrubbed the bejesus out of everything. And as you can see, all of this stuff turned out looking fantastic. By the time I was done detailing the exterior and the interior, this Jeep was looking really, really great. And although it kind of seemed like we didn't change a whole lot, it seemed like a completely different vehicle than what we started with. It was sad that we were selling it after all the work we had put into it, but we were still really proud with what we had made. And selling a Jeep with this low miles and no modifications, I was confident that the next owner was going to take really good care of it too. In fact, months later after we sold the Jeep, we actually ran into it at a second-hand store. And lastly, I wanted to put this in the video. Before Dana decided to sell it, I had commissioned a painting of the photo of when Dana first got it registered to her at the DMV.
Alright, babe. What do you think? You loving it? It's official! And your license plates match. Alright, you ready to see the special surprise?
Yes.
You're not very happy that I've been teasing you with this, are you?
No, I want to know.
Alright, open your eyes.
What? Oh my gosh! This is so cool! Oh, I love it!
It's pretty cool, huh?
This is so cool! Oh my god, I have to frame this!
I know. It's a lot bigger than I was expecting it to be.
This is really cool. Thank you. I love you.
I love you.